Hi friends, in previous lecture we learned about functional units of a computer. So what are the basic functional units? Input output device, memory and CPU, central processing unit. Okay, so from the input device the coded information is sent and stored in the memory. So from the memory the stored instructions are sent to CPU. Within the CPU, ALU will accept those instructions and it will perform either arithmetic or logical operations according to the given instructions. Okay, after execution of all instructions, we will get a result. This result is sent back and stored in the memory. Once the result is stored in the memory, it is then sent to the output device. Okay, so all these input output device or output unit, memory unit, ALU, all these are controlled by using a controller. ALU and controller present within the CPU. This is the functional unit, and in today lecture we are going to learn the basic operational concepts. Okay, so in this topic mainly we will learn how the data is transferred between memory and processor. Okay, so how the data is transferred between a processor and the memory. Okay, so in order to perform a given task, an appropriate program consists of a list of instructions is stored in the memory. Okay, so if we want to perform any task, we have to write a program. Program is nothing but a set of instructions. Okay, those instructions are sent from input device and then those instructions are stored in the memory. Once the instructions are stored in the memory, the individual instructions are brought from the memory to the processor. Okay, so initially all the instructions stored in the memory. So one by one instructions means individual instructions are sent to the processor from memory. Okay, which executes the specified operation. Okay, so within the processor we are having an ALU. So depending upon the instructions, ALU will execute the instruction or it perform the specified operation according to the given instruction. Okay, and next the data operands. If I want to perform addition operation, I need minimum of 2 operands. So those data operands are also stored in the memory. Along with the instructions, data operands are also stored in the memory. Okay, so for example, consider instructions. See here I am considering instruction add location A comma R0. Okay, here add, it is an opcode. Okay, and next we are having location A, LOCA, location A comma R0. Here location A is nothing but an address in the main memory. Okay, so memory is nothing but memory has a different semiconductor storage cell and each cell has its unique address. Here location A is an address in the memory and R0 is a general purpose register. Okay, so these general purpose registers are present within the processor. Okay, so add location A comma R0. Here add is the opcode. Location A is address of main memory location. Okay, address of the memory. And next R0 is the general purpose register. So here what is the operation? So whatever the data present in the location A, see here this instruction add the operand in the memory location A to the operand in the processor register or not. Here we have to add the data. Data is nothing but a operand which is present in the location A and also a processor register or not. Okay, and then place the final sum or the final result into the register or not. Here or not register works as both source and destination. Okay, and location A is works as only source, or not works as both source and destination. So okay, add location A comma or not. What is the operation here going to perform? The data or operand which is present in location A and or not are going to be added, and the final result is going to be stored in the register or not. Okay, next, the original content of location A is preserved. The data or the operand which is present in the location A is not overwritten. Okay, but in case of processor register or not, the data is overwritten by the sum or result. Okay, I think you got how this instruction is executed. First of all, this instruction add location A comma or not is stored in the memory. Okay, and next, the data which is present in location A is sent to the ALU, and the data or operand which is present in processor register or not is also sent to the ALU. ALU will perform addition operation because here we are written opcode as add. So ALU will perform addition. After the operation is completed or addition is completed, ALU will send this sum to send sum to or not register. Why? Here or not will work as destination register also. So the sum is sent and stored in the register or not. Okay, from that the sum result is sent to the output device. Okay, and next, this above instruction can also be written in two instructions. See, first one is load location A comma R1. Here load means it performs the data transferring. Just it transfers the data which is present in source to destination. Okay, load location A comma R1. Here location A works as a source, R1 works as only destination. The data which is present in location A is transferred to the R1. Okay, and next add R1 comma or not. Okay, so what is the data present in R1? Whatever the data present in location A is transferred to the R1. Okay, so the data present in R1 is going to be added with the data in the or not register, and then finally the result is stored in the register or not. In both the instructions the result is same, add location A comma or not, and next load location A comma R1 means the data present in is transferred to the R1, and then add R1 comma or not means the data present in R1 and location A is both are same. Okay, so the data present in R1 register is going to be added with the data present in or not register, and the final result is stored in the or not register. Okay, so the transfers between the memory and the processor. In the above instructions, the data is transferred in between memory and processor. The instructions are sent from memory to the processor. ALU will perform the operation and it sends the result to the either register or to the memory location. Okay, here mainly the data is transferred between the memory and the processor, are started by sending the address of the memory location to be accessed to the memory unit, and issues the appropriate control signals. The data are then transferred to or from the memory. Okay, depending upon the address of the memory locations, the data is transferred between the memory and the processor. And next, this is the connections between the processor and the memory. How the memory and processor are going to be connected. See, in previous lectures we learnt about a CPU or a processor contains a control unit and ALU. Along with this control unit ALU, processor will also has MAR, means a memory address register. Next, PC means a program counter. IR, instruction register. Next, MDR means a memory data register. Along with this, the processor will also have n number of general purpose registers, or not 2 or n minus 1. Okay, processor have memory address register, program counter, instruction register, memory data register, and next n number of general purpose register. So these general purpose registers are also used for to store the data. Okay, so along with controller and ALU, the processor will also have these register. Okay, so now we will look into all these registers and what is the operation and how the data is transferred between the memory and the processor. Okay, so first we will look into instruction register. So what is the operation of instruction register? Instruction register, it holds the instruction that is currently being executed. Okay, it holds the instruction which is currently being executed. So a program is nothing but a set of instructions. Okay, so presently what is the instruction is executed in the processor, that instruction is stored in the instruction register, and its output is available to the control units which generates the timing signals that control the various processing elements involved in executing the instructions. So this is the instruction register. So mainly the instruction register holds the instruction that is currently being executed within the processor. Okay, and next second register is a program counter, PC. A program counter contains the memory address of the next instruction to be fetched and executed. So within the instruction register, the instruction that is currently being executed. So present, what is the instruction executed in the processor? That instruction is stored in the instruction register, and next which instruction has to be executed, those instruction address is stored in the program counter. Okay, so program counter stores the address of the next instruction to be fetched and executed. This is the program counter. During execution of an instruction, the content of program counter are updated to the corresponding address of the next instruction to be executed. Okay, So instruction register holds the instruction that is currently executed, and program counter stores the address. Whose address? The next instruction which has to be executed, it is fetched, okay, and those instruction address is stored in the program counter. So during the execution of an instruction, the content of program counter is updated to the address of the next instruction to be executed. So this is the program counter. And next we are having the memory address register, MAR, means memory address register. It holds the address of the location to be accessed. Okay, so whatever the data, so memory address register accepts the address of the main memory location. It holds the address of the location to be accessed within the main memory. And next, memory data register. It contains the data to be written into the memory or read out from the addressed location in the memory. So address register stores the address of the location which is accessed from the memory, and memory data register stores the data, okay, so which is either may be written into the addressed location of the memory or read out from the addressed location from in the main memory. Okay, so these are the instruction register, program counter, memory address register, and memory data register. So along with this we are having, so already we know about controller, what is the operation of controller and ALU. And next we have to know about the general purpose register. Here we are having n number of general purpose register. So these registers are used to store the information. Okay, so they are also used for storing the information. So the data is stored temporarily in these general purpose registers. Okay, so okay, next we will look into the how the data is transferred among these register and from memory to the processor. Suppose if an instruction involves an operation to be performed by the ALU. So I am going to executing an instructions, that instructions requires the ALU in order to perform the operation. Okay, so in this situation it is necessary to obtain the required operands. Okay, so if that operand present in the memory, okay, so operand it is not mandatory that operand must be stored in the memory. They could also be in the general purpose registers, means within the processor. So the operands may also be stored either in the memory or general purpose register. Okay, so now if I considered if an operand present in the memory, okay, so it has to be fetched. Hence we have to fetch that operand within the memory by sending it addressed to the MAR register. Okay, so here I am going to search the operand. I am going to searching the operand which is present in the memory by sending it address to the MAR register and initiate the read cycle. Okay, from the MAR register means memory address register. It stores the address of the location to be accessed. Okay, when the operand is okay, address is sent to the memory and it is fetched during read cycle. So So when the operand is read from the memory into the MDR register. So once the address is fetched within the memory and the data which is present in that address is sent to the MDR register. Okay, so it is transferred from MDR to the ALU. After one or more operands are fetched in this manner, means from the address register we will search that address in the memory and the data which is present in that memory location is transferred to the data register. Data register will send that data to the ALU. Okay, so in this manner one or more operands are fetched. Okay, after that ALU can perform the desired operation depending on the instruction, means depending on the opcode in the instruction. Okay, so once the operation is completed, the result of this operation is to be stored in the memory. Okay, so how the data is transferred from ALU to the memory? So first the result is sent to the MDR. The result is sent to MDR. Okay, so here write cycle is initiated, means we are storing the result into the memory, means it is a write cycle, write operation. Okay, so what is the address present in MAR? In that address the data or the result in the MDR is going to be stored in that address. This is the write cycle. Okay, so at some point during these execution of current instruction, the program counter is incremented, okay, or it is going to be updated with the address of next instruction to be executed. Okay, so presently executed instruction is present in the instruction register whose address is present in the MAR. That address is fetched in the memory and the data is sent to the MDR register. MDR will send the data to the ALU. All this is operations comes under the read cycle. Once ALU will get two or more operands in this manner, it will perform the required operation according to the opcode in the instruction. After the execution is completed, the result is sent back to the MDR. From the MDR, the data is stored in the memory. Whatever the address present in the MAR, in that address, the result is stored from MDR to memory. So during this process, the program counter at some point it will be updated with the address of next instruction to be executed. Okay, so this is how the data is transferred from memory to the processor. So here controller what will perform? It will control all these registers, all these memory, MAR, MDR registers, ALU, general purpose registers, all these devices, all these are going to be controlled by using a controller. Okay, so this is how the data is transferred between the memory and the processor. And next, okay, so during these normal execution of program may be preempted if some device requests urgent servicing. So when one instruction is or one program is executed, during this some other device requires an urgent servicing. In order to deal with this situation immediately, the normal execution of current program must be interrupted. Means we have to stop the execution of the current program. Okay, so in order to do this, the device raises an interrupt signal. An interrupt request is sent from an IO device for service by the processor. The processor provides the request service by executing an interrupt service routine. Okay. See here. Here I am taking two programs. First one is program 1 and this is the program 2. Okay, so during the execution of program 1, see, so these PC minus 6, PC minus 4, PC minus 2, PC plus 2, these are the addresses of the memory location. These are the memory locations. Sorry. These are the memory locations or address of these memory locations. So when the program 1 is executed from PC minus 6, it's go on executing. Whenever the program count a PC address comes, so here the second program requires urgent servicing, means the program 2 has to be executed immediately. In this situation, the program 2 will send an interrupt request. It sends the interrupt request to the program 1 or to the processor. What processor will do? Processor will accept the interrupt. Okay, so it accepts the interrupt. Whenever the processor accepts the interrupt, it stores the instruction which has to be executed. Okay, it stores the address of the next instruction which has to be executed into the stack or into the memory. Okay, so whenever the processor accepts the interrupt, here when the processor accept the request during the PC, the instruction present in the PC is executed. During this time, the processor accepts the interrupt. Okay, so what processor will do now? It stores the next instruction address, means PC plus 2. It stores the PC plus 2 address either into the memory or into the stack. Okay, so when the next instruction address is stored into the stack, the program counter will be updated with second program first instruction address, PCI. Okay, so program counter is updated with second program first instruction address. Now processor what will do? It will execute the program 2. So all the instruction present in the program 2 will be executed sequentially. Okay, so once the program 2 execution is completed, then after that the program counter is going to be updated with the program counter is transferred to the program 1 and it is updated with whatever the data or whatever the address is stored in the stack. Okay, so now program counter have the address program PC plus 2. Okay, so now the processor will start execution from PC plus 2. It will execute all the instruction and finally we will get the program 1 instruction. Okay, so during the execution of program 1, so when some other device requires urgent servicing, they send an interrupt request to the processor. So whenever the processor gets an interrupt request, it will accept that request and it stores the address of next instruction, means please PC plus 2 into the stack, and then the program counter will be updated with the second program first instruction address. Now one by one all the instructions present in the program 2 gets executed. Once the program 2 is completely executed and the result is sent. After that, the program counter will be updated with the address which is stored in the stack. Okay, so now all the instruction in the first program from PC+2 are going to be executed continuously, and we will get the result of the program 1. Okay, here program 1 will be called as a interrupt program. It is going to be interrupted by program 2. Okay, so program 1 will call as interrupt program, and program 2 will be called as interrupt service routine. Okay, so interrupt service routine is completely executed. After the complete execution of interrupt service routine, the state of the processor is restored. Means whatever the data present in the stack is sent to the program counter, so that the interrupt program is continued to execute. Okay, so this is how the data is transferred from memory to the processor, and also once during normal execution of a program, some other device requires urgent servicing. What we have to do during that situation, just the device will send an interrupt request to the processor. The processor will stop the execution of interrupt program, and it will starts executing the interrupt service routine, means program 2. Once the program 2 is completely executed, then the controller transfers to the first program. Okay, in next lecture we will learn about bus structure. Means uh, we will learn whatever the type of buses are there. We are having mainly 3 types of buses: data bus, address bus, control bus. Okay, so in order to transfer the data in between any 2 devices, we will use data bus. And if for transferring address, we will use address bus. First one is data bus, it transfers the data. Address bus transfers the address. And control bus, it is going to control the both data and address buses. So we will discuss about these 3 types of buses in next lecture. Okay, thank you.